Today we're going over the setup on my MR04 stock Mini Z. I'm going to break down the full setup and kind of my reasoning behind why I did what I did. And hopefully this will be helpful whether you're just trying to get started or maybe trying to find a little bit of performance or tweak your car to your preference. So first off, I obviously have this body. This is the PN C9. This one's brand new and I did the Raceway RC sticker kit, so that's why it looks all cool with the Red Bull livery. I added a little bit of black paint to this just to give it the look that I like, but we'll go ahead and pop the body off. So now that we have the body off, let's start with the wheels and tires. For the wheels, I'm running PN wheels front and rear, and that's so that I can have these little traction discs. The stock class at my local track allows you to run non-Kyosho tires, and with this amount of grip, you really do need these little discs to stop the car from traction rolling. Up front, I actually went to the 19mm wheel with the 2.5 offset, and that gives the car a little bit more front end because A, the front end's narrower, and then B, the smaller diameter brings the front end of the car down closer to the track. That shifts the weight of the car forward, making the steering a little bit more responsive. It has a lot more front end bite or turn in, which I really like in a car. For tires, I'm running the PN 540s up front, so that's gonna be their low profile 40 shore tire, and in the rear I'm running the Marka 20 shore radials. I went with the 20 as opposed to something softer just to give myself a little bit more rotation and again make the car a little bit pointier, and that's kind of a preference thing. I know a lot of people don't really like to drive this car when I let them try it. And then moving on to suspension, in the front I'm running the Kyosho green springs. So these springs are one step softer. They're considered the medium spring rate, so they're one step softer than what comes on here from the factory. And again, that's just to shift a little bit more grip up front than in the back and help the car be a little bit pointier. Also, you can see I have these aluminum steering knuckles, and in the stock class you are still required to run the 0 degree, so no camber or caster adjustment there. Just a little bit of a durability upgrade because I did have that brake. You also can't see it, but inside I did do the replacement to the PN Delrin steering servo gear set because I chipped a tooth in a big crash, and going to that Delrin set with the brass fourth gear just kind of makes sure that I won't have to deal with that problem ever again. And then in the rear for suspension, I'm completely stock with the top shock. And then on the bottom, I'm running the thinnest of the Kyosho T-plates. And in my full box stock cars, I do typically run a thicker T-plate, but with this class having so much grip and being so prone to traction rolling, the softer T-plate helps prevent you from traction rolling. Another thing in the rear of the car you'll see is this hub on the rear wheel. So the stock cars have this little spacer. The problem with that is you can't really tighten the wheel down very well. I really wanted to get this rear end loose and I wanted to have the diff action nice and free, but the issue I was running into was that when I would loosen the wheel nut enough to have this nice free diff action, the wheel nut would back off over the course of a race. This hub is from PN and it actually locks on with the set screw. So it locks to the axle, and that way you can tighten that wheel nut as tight as you want while still making sure that the axle isn't binding. That's gonna help you both have a free diff, and then also it's gonna decrease any rolling resistance you might get from a binding rear axle. For gearing on the rear end, I'm running the 9-tooth stock pinion. It's just the Kyosho pinion right out of the box, and I'm fortunate to get to race at Area RC, and I think Mark really likes to have a long straight because every time they redo the track, it always has a really long straight. So having that 9-tooth pinion really helps for top speed, and once you can learn to manage it on the kind of infield section of the track. As far as batteries, I'm running the Genzace AAA 750 milliamp hour. This is something I'm looking to improve in my race program because some of the other guys have Carreras and those seem to provide quite a bit more power. I have plans for an upcoming video. I have a whole long list of batteries that I want to try out. I want to test them on the N8 charger and get the resistance numbers, and then also just see on track. You know, I'll probably go up there on a practice day and run a set of batteries and see, you know, the longevity. Are they starting to lose punch at the end of a 5-minute main? Mark likes to do 7-minute mains, so are they gonna lose punch towards the end of a 7-minute heat? And then there's also other characteristics with batteries that you can look into, like how punchy are they? Are they very consistent? Some batteries can be really peaky, so I'm gonna just order the lot and see what's out there, and if anything is better than the Carrera for less than $30 for a set of 4 by the time you ship it from Hong Kong. Overall, this car is definitely competitive at my local club, which is Area RC, and I'm really happy with the setup. The only gremlin that I keep running into with this car, which I don't think it's the biggest deal, but it is something, is that this wheel, even once I put the spacer on it, but it always seems to bind the wheel, you know, it's touching the upper and lower control arm. So you can compare how free they are. You can see that one's really bound up. And when you rotate it, you can actually feel it touching. Let's see if we can hear this. Obviously, that's going to cause a little bit of rolling resistance, and then it's also going to force me to have to adjust for that with the trim because it's on the front, so it pulls the car to one side, and then that means that the tires are constantly fighting to go straight rather than just being able to freely roll in a straight line. Like I said, I did add the little spacer to the axle, and that didn't seem to fix it. I also had an issue where my factory front spring had compressed down, and then I stretched it out so that it wouldn't keep coming out, but then what seemed to happen was that this arm was sitting higher than this one, and it was still having that. I did replace the spring, and I'm still having this issue. So again, I think I'm just gonna have to take apart the whole front end of this car and try to track that gremlin down. Out of all three of the cars that I regularly race, which would be this one, and then this car here is the RC28. That one, I'm still trying to wrap my head around getting consistent with driving it. It's just so fast. And then this one, which is an MR03, which I race in the Kyosho stock, which is probably our closest thing to a box stock class. This car, it's consistent, but it's lacking a little bit of speed compared to the fastest guys. So out of the three of my cars, this one is the one that I'm very happy with the way it drives. I'm very consistent while driving it because it does exactly what I want it to. And also it is fast enough to win races. And in terms of lap time, I'm always up there with the fast guys. And I'd have to say, as of right now, this one's definitely my favorite car to run just because I feel so on top of it and so connected to it. So that's my race setup with the MR04. I'd love to hear what you guys think and comment below what your setups are and if there's anything I'm missing out to unlock a little bit more speed with this guy. And again, hope this was helpful if you're looking for a little bit of speed or maybe trying to dial in the car's handling. Let me know down below if you're having any issues with the MR04 platform or if there's any tricks that you've found some good pace with. And subscribe to the Mini Racers for all things Mini Z racing.